đúng không? Cái này là cái nghiên cứu. Của Lai Vong.
Hey Miami Lakers, welcome to our COVID update here in our community. And today's Mental Health Thursday. But before we get to Mental Health Thursday, we're going to get into our daily. Hoy es el jueves de la salud mental, que vamos a estar hablando de eso. Tenemos unos expertos aquí con nosotros que van a estar hablando sobre la salud mental, pero también vamos a estar dando el update del coronavirus. Something that we keep seeing, right? And I think everybody's seeing in the news, there is an uptick of coronavirus cases, right, statewide. But one of the most important numbers is hospitalizations. And that's something we're keeping up. I think I was looking at some of the numbers earlier in Dade County. About 640 COVID patients are in the hospital. When it comes to ICU beds, the availability of ICU beds, there's still 25% available here in our community. So 25% of all ICU beds in Miami-Dade County are available if there were a need. But yeah, the COVID cases that are hospitalized throughout the entire county is about 640. Uno de los números bien importantes, yo sé que el administrador va a estar hablando de los números aquí en la ciudad sobre las personas que tienen el coronavirus, pero uno de los números más importantes es el número de personas en el hospital. En este momento hay 640 personas en el condado entero que tiene coronavirus, pero hay un 25% de capacidad todavía, lo que se dice el ICU. De todas las camas del ICU del condado Miami-Dade, todavía hay 25% que están disponibles. So, esos son uno de los números tan importantes que estamos mirando. Una razón porque one of the main reasons that we always talked about flattening the curve was to make sure that in our community, if people needed them, that there were enough, right? That's why they had built at Martin Stadium, or I mean down south of the youth fair, all those different tents to make sure that there was always availability, just in case we saw something that happened like in New York or other parts of the nation. But it has not happened here in Miami-Dade. Although there is an uptick in cases, it hasn't happened here in our community. I know our vice mayor and his wife Lisa, they're doing well. Fortunately they have mild symptoms. So I know I keep up with him all the time. I call him. I spoke to the vice mayor, and he's doing well. His spirits are doing well, but he has very mild symptoms, and it looks like they're getting better every single day. Mr. Manager, talk to us about some of the numbers here in our community.
Yeah, I just wanted to update us on what the current number of people in the town of Miami Lakes that have tested positive. The number from today's report from the State Department of Health is 83. So in total, since the beginning of the outbreak, there have been 83 people that have tested positive for the coronavirus. Like I've said before, that does not mean that there are 83 people right now, this moment, that are positive for the coronavirus. That means over the last 2 to 3 months, since this whole pandemic started, 83 people have tested positive. The number only changed from Monday to today. It's only 3 new cases. So as you see, as new cases are coming, remember on the other end, people are recovering, similar to the vice mayor. Other than those that are elderly, are mild cases. So we're doing good. Le quería avisar que el número de casos confirmados en el reporte estatal que salió esta mañana es 83. Eso quiere decir que en total, desde el principio del pandémico han habido 83 personas que han probado positivo para el virus No quiere decir que actualmente, hoy en día, hay 83 personas en Miami Lakes que están positivos. La mayoría de la gente positivos ya han pasado por esa etapa, ya se han recuperado y ya no tienen el virus, no son infecciosos en este momento.
So Miami-Dade County Mayor Carlos Jimenez, he already announced today that the period of education, right, educating businesses, educating people and wearing the mask, that period is over. And I think you're going to see some tough love, that's his words, in regards to the police taking extra steps. For example, if there is a business in Miami-Dade County that is not following the guidelines, that business may be closed down by the county. If you see folks not following the guidelines, the county mayor is recommending to even call the police. So I think you're starting to see that education period, right? We've been talking about wearing your mask. we know what the stats look like when everybody's wearing their mask, right? It's almost impossible to transmit the diseases if everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. But what's happening is there's a lot of people that say, hey, you know what, I'm healthy, I don't need to wear a mask or whatnot. And I think you're going to start seeing some tough love. Those were the words of the county mayor today. The next steps are going to be, if somebody's not complying with what needs to be happening, you might see businesses being shut down by the county mayor. Oye, el alcalde de condado dijo que ya el tiempo de educar a los negocios, a las personas, sobreponiéndose las máscaras, ya ese tiempo se ha acabado. Ya va a empezar un periodo de, como dice el alcalde de condado, amor pero fuerte, que si hay un negocio que no están poniéndose las máscaras, si no se están poniendo los guantes, haciendo lo que está debido por los guidelines, ya el alcalde de condado dijo que va a empezar viendo la policía del condado cerrar esos negocios, hablar con personas que no están haciendo lo debido, porque estamos viendo esos números del coronavirus crecer y eso es algo ya, lo anunció hace un ratico. Pero hoy también, today is Mental Health Thursday, and we have Councilman Luis Collazo with us. He's joining us right now. He's going to take over, talk about something that's so important here in our community. He has a special guest with us that he's going to be introducing to everybody to talk about Mental Health Thursday, the importance of continuing not only to work on ourselves physically, right? We talk about going to the gym and working out, but I think there's also a mental health workout that we also be doing and exercises. So I'm going to hand it over to Councilman Collazo. He's going to be doing this in both English and Spanish, and he has a special guest with him. So take care.
Thank you, Mayor, and hi, Miami Lakers. How you doing? Councilman Collazo here. As we've been doing every Thursday, we've really made a point, a mission in the town of Miami Lakes to talk about mental health and mental well-being. And as the mayor, the town manager, and everybody's been pointing out, throughout this crisis, we've all been dealing with mental health stress, from the anxiety of what's happening to depression to not knowing what the future will be, normal to be going through the stress. So it's been my honor to continue to champion this series, and quite honestly, a great move that the council has made recently. We're going to be championing a mental health task force, which is going to be responsible for making sure that throughout our community, we're making sure that mental health is in the forefront and making sure that people are treating themselves well through this crisis. Buenas tardes, Miami Lakers. Mi nombre es Luis Collazo. Aquí, como estamos todos los jueves hablando de la salud mental, hoy es un orgullo de estar con ustedes porque estamos no solamente promoviendo la salud mental y promoviendo reconocimiento de los esfuerzos del town of Miami Lakes para hablar de este tema. Muchas veces es un tema que no se habla, especialmente en la comunidad hispana, y algunas veces hasta culturalmente no nos gusta hablar de esto, pero tenemos que hablar de esto para mejorar y tenemos que traer a la conciencia que la salud mental es tan importante como la salud física. Today I'm joined with a very special guest, Alexandra Maldonado. She's going to be talking about intergenerational trauma. Hoy tengo una visitante especial, se llama Alexandra Maldonado, que va a estar hablando de la trauma intergeneracional. Alexandra, the floor is yours.
Buenas a todos Miami Lakes. My name is Alexandra, mi nombre es Alexandra. Yo trabajo con los Therapy Labs. Básicamente hoy día, como dijo Luis, voy a estar hablando sobre el trauma transgeneracional. Y básicamente, ¿qué significa con eso? El trauma viene de muchas diferentes cosas. Cuando un evento traumático le pasa a una persona, nunca se puede olvidar que eso es algo que también pasa con nuestra familia, ¿verdad? En nuestra cultura la familia es muy importante, y cuando le pasa a alguien que queremos, nos duele a nosotros también. Eso es una manera fácil que se puede pensar cuando estamos hablando sobre el trauma transgeneracional, porque nosotros, a nuestros padres en el pasado, aprendemos de ellos, y eso va pasando, se va pasando con cada generación. Es muy importante hablar de esto, especialmente con todo lo que ha estado pasando. El COVID va a ser algo histórico en cual se va a hablar hasta el futuro, y nosotros en este momento lo estamos viviendo. Y cómo tenemos esas conversaciones alrededor de lo que está pasando, cómo entre nuestras cosas, cómo aprendemos a no solo hablar sobre nuestro estrés, pero también admitir que lo tenemos y también cómo lo podemos encontrar estrategias para ayudarnos a nosotros mismos es algo muy importante hacer en familia, en comunidad, especialmente en un pueblo como Miami Lakes, que nosotros sabemos que aquí somos gente muy unida. In English, what I'm speaking about is basically transgenerational trauma. Transgenerational trauma, in layman's terms to think about it, you know how you speak to your family, you know how you speak to your children, how you learn from your parents, how you're transmitting those lessons to your children. You see what's going on in your family, you see others' anxieties. If someone is going through something, it pains you. If someone is going through something great, you're happy for them. And all these lessons you take into in your life. Our children see these things and they take them into their future as well. This is what you think of when you think of transgender trauma. Why is this so important to think about? Right now, we are living through a historic moment through COVID. We are dealing through stresses. We are learning that to even some of us admit to the stresses that we have, and how we have these conversations are very important because it's something that we are going to transmit throughout the generations. It's important to say what's wrong, what's going on, and have these talks because we are such a small community of people that are very, very engaged with each other. Our culture, as majority of us being Hispanic Latinos, we really value that closeness, that family unity, and it's important to discuss how together we can combat mental health issues. And that is basically what I want to talk about with transgenerational trauma. I want to label it people like the mayor that are working hard to help navigate us through all these things that are happening. It starts with talking about your family to your family members, admitting if you might be lonely or if you might not be lonely, admitting what is going on for you, and seeking that help and guidance for strategies for stress. Some of the things that I do want to share, when we talk about trauma in general, we always want to talk about branding ourselves. So learn about breathing strategies, keep doing exercises and physical health, super important. Think about how your body is responding to the stresses and the trauma going on. En español, cuando ya empiezas a admitir que tienes estos estreses, que tienes estas cosas pasando, háblalo con su familia. Dile cómo juntos pueden venir para ayudarse uno al otro. Aprender cosas sobre cómo respirar bien. Lo que en inglés se dice grounding techniques, que es como que estar presente en sí mismo. Y así seguimos y hablando y estando juntos como una comunidad para ayudarnos unos a los otros. Muchas gracias.
So, thank you, Alexandra. Thank you, Miami Lakers, for tuning in. As always, we're committed to making sure that mental health is in the forefront of the dialogue. I'm proud of my colleagues, proud of the council for creating the mental health task force that we did this last Tuesday, and will be front of everybody's mind. And thank you, Miami Lakers, and thank you, Alexandra, for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're awesome. And I'm going to invite the mayor back and the town manager to answer any questions that we have coming in from the live feed.
Thank you very much. Great job with Mental Health Thursday. If you have any questions on mental health, make sure you reach out. Let us know. You can ask us right now. We have Councilman Collazo and great experts here with us today. But very committed to it. We'll talk to us about and I know I mentioned this many times, that 50% of Americans have said that that COVID-19 has impacted their mental health. So we know how
Street shops open.
Main Street shops are open. The two main things that aren't open on Main Street, and remember, if private businesses don't want to open, I mean, that's their choice. But the main things that aren't open, and Mr. Manager, you could chime in on this, is the theater, both theaters, right? The Play Theater on Main Street, the smaller one, and then the actual theater, the movie theater, aren't open. So the movie theater and the play theater aren't open, but everything else has already received the green light to reopen.
No, final remarks. We will have food distribution. It will be held at the Hope United Methodist Church. This is the same food distribution we were planning every other Friday. It used to be at Royal Oaks Park, but this time around it's going to be at the Miami Lakes Methodist Church. I believe our start time is going to be 9 a.m. I want to thank Pastor Stewart, Gloria, the entire, all the folks at the Hope United Methodist Church for really opening up that home to us and allowing us to continue our food distribution efforts as our parks start coming back online. So thank you so much, Hope United Methodist Church. 9 a.m. tomorrow, there will be food distribution. Volunteers are welcomed, and thank you so much, Miami Lakers, for tuning in.
That's awesome. Thank you for that information. We got back to work fully. A lot of people, get paid every 2 weeks or maybe once a month, and we still know that folks are getting, it's going to take some time to get back to normal. So thank you guys for organizing that, because I know there's a lot of need in our society and our communities. Mr. Manager, anything else you want
No, I just want to remind everybody about the importance of adhering to the guidelines with the social distancing and the facial coverings. As we've seen, there are some stories that we here in South Florida, especially here in the town, we're trying to avoid. There's a large group of ladies in Jacksonville that they all went out to a bar. They all ended up testing positive for the COVID. I've heard today that Monroe County is going to a fine, an individual fine, so it's not to the business, but it's the individuals. If you're not properly wearing your mask or social distancing, they're going to implement a fine in Monroe County down in the Keys of $500. So that is all as a result of people that are not adhering to the guidelines. So all I want to do is remind Miami Lakers to please, for all of our sake, we don't want to go backwards. We only want to move forward and continue the progress, right? So it hasn't been easy the last 3 months. So let's not take any steps backwards. So solamente le quería recordar a todo el mundo que queremos queremos evitar dando un paso para atrás, ni siquiera para echar para adelante. No quiero dar un paso para atrás. Hemos visto cuentos de un grupo de muchachitas en Jacksonville que todos salieron a una barra, 15 muchachas probaron positivo para el virus. Ahora en Los Cayos han implementado una multa de $500 por persona cuando alguien está sin su máscara. Nosotros aquí en Miami Lakes y en Dade County no queremos estar en esa situación, no queremos echar para atrás, queremos seguir progresando como hemos estado haciendo los últimos 3 meses.
And just remember what I said earlier too, the county mayor already announced the period for education, right? For talking about the mask, for talking to people. He stated today that period is over, and now any violations from businesses, the county will be shutting down businesses, and they won't be allowing for an immediate reopening. They're going to be requesting that those businesses submit a plan how they're going to fix those issues. So just an FYI, I mean, the county mayor already took that position today. So that is so important. I know a lot of times people are like, hey, look, I'm asymptomatic, it's not a big deal, I don't have it, but and I know what the good news is that hospitalization rates are to a certain extent, we're still doing okay compared to other areas. There's still 25% capacity when it comes to ICU beds in Miami-Dade County, but still 640 people are currently in the ICU here in Dade County in our hospital system. So the one thing why we shut down to begin with was to flatten the curve and to make sure that it wasn't inundated and there weren't more issues. So let's keep working towards that, but just know that the county mayor already announced that the period for education is over and the county will be stepping up. Just remember, the county supersedes municipalities when it comes to these rules. So I know he's going to be filing an executive order shortly on that issue. Brandon, anything else? We're good. Thank you, Miami Lakers. Reach out to us. We are here for you. Call us tomorrow. I know it's been tough. How many weeks already in a row?
We've been going more than 3 months strong, so we're going to continue going as long as we can. And to be quite honest with you, it's really a team effort, and God bless the Bodines and Hope United Methodist Church, who've been with us every step of the way, and they're great partners, and we're going to be at that property tomorrow.
Awesome. So thank you, Miami Lakers. Stay safe. Reach out to us. We're here for you, from our council to our staff, our volunteers. We're getting to through this together, and just know, I mean, folks like, now we see it, even members of our own family here in town got diagnosed. Thank God, you know, their symptoms are very mild, but we got to make sure that we continue to protect ourselves. Wear your mask. Just wear your mask. When everybody has their mask, it is impossible